My name is Taylor Yates. I usually am working for CDDIS. I'm a software engineer, so I work on the data coming in and going out. Yeah, but for now, I'm talking as a member of the Data Information Systems Committee. So this is a very young committee, or at least it has been reborn recently. My involvement started once upon a time in January when I got an email from Mike Perlman speaking about this getting revived and asking if I wanted to join and work on it. And that's where I started on it. So I'm just going to give an overview, talk about what we've done, what we're going to do, and there is a call for participation at the end. So just keep that in mind. So for the overview, there were initial goals for this. It was an email chain bouncing around. Whenever you get this kind of thing, when you get it started, it starts as an email chain and you get your ideas back and forth and you start writing them down. The development of the portal was kicked off to another team, and we really wanted to talk about how to build a standard that people will actually use and benefit from that is cross-technique. So not just GNSS, but all four of the major geodetic techniques can all use the same metadata schema, and they can all be happy with the same metadata schema. So it has to be fair, obviously. And then it needs to be globally unified. It's not useful unless everybody agrees to it and uses it, right? Otherwise, it's just another standard. So yeah. We are working on the development of Geodesy ML. So this is for GNSS, obviously, and I will talk about later that this is GNSS focused, and we really need to make it not GNSS focused. We really need to reach out to the other three and really work to get them all together at the same time. There's some testing on some site log transfers that are machine to machine. And specifically on my side at CDDIS, we are really working to refine our CMR metadata holdings and our DOIs. Kirsten will talk about this in a few minutes. We've had some conversations. We know where we are lacking and we know what to work on. And we're trying to make sure that we have enough metadata following the schema that it is useful and it's not just the bare minimum requirements, right? So the more you have in there, the easier it is to find, the easier it is to use. It goes back to fair, right? So the next steps, if you would like to join this effort, if you would like to help define the standard, please talk to either myself or Roger. Please, we are asking for help with this. We're asking for contributions. We're asking for people to get engaged. Because if we do this without engagement, it's not going to be nearly as useful, right? We really need the engagement to make it more useful. Yeah. And again, a lot of this is just things I've already talked about. We have to make it as fair as possible. It needs to be comprehensive so that everybody can use it. Because if it's not built so that everybody can use it, you're just going to stop using it. You're going to use something else, and you've lost the plot at that point. Yeah, and then maximizing adoption. So again, please join us. We need help. It is GNSS focused. It needs to not be GNSS focused, or at least it needs to service everybody, right? So we do have two priorities coming out of this for the next couple of years. We need to lead the development of the schema. I think I've said this 10 times now, that incorporates everyone, right? And it needs to be promoted so that it's actually used. So very simple, short, 4.5 minutes. Nailed it. Are there any questions? Let's see, at least one.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a very interesting approach. And I just have the question, you say it's GNSS focused. Does it also have the room to implement gravity, absolute gravity? I had a quick view of half an hour or an hour earlier because this was mentioned. And I found a lot of general items there for the
Yes.
construction of metadata. So
Yeah.
would this be interesting?
Yeah, absolutely. And I will say, the more involvement we get, this is an excellent question. The more involvement we get like this, the more useful it will be for you. So if you want to help build this and make it more useful, then I would greatly appreciate the input, and we can make sure that fields are in that you would actually want to use, and make sure that things that are not useful to you would be an optional field instead, right? So, and we're trying to build it in JSON. You've got XML, JSON, all that kind of stuff, whatever. But with the JSON, if you don't need something, then you just don't, it's an optional field. Yeah. Yeah.